Hey guys, Iron Cameraman here. Sometimes it feels like I'm stuck in an endless time loop because we got new leaks again for episode 78. Honestly, I've lost track of how many leaks we've had at this point, but at least they exist, which means we have at least some idea of what's going on with the production of this episode. I also have a theory about why he isn't releasing this episode in parts like usual, but instead finishing it completely, despite the record-long wait. If you look at the most popular videos on his channel, you'll notice that, aside from compilations, the second, third, fourth, and fifth most viewed videos are the episodes that were released as full-length videos rather than in parts. I think Boom wants episodes 78 and 79 to reach those previous record numbers, attract new viewers, or bring back old ones, since based on past experience, YouTube tends to promote these kinds of videos more. Overall, that's good news, but unfortunately, I also have some bad news for today, which I'll get to a bit later. Oh, and by the way, I accidentally hacked Made Camerawoman's phone and found these photos. As a token of appreciation for such generosity, I'd really appreciate a like. Also, shout out to Kirieshka for these amazing artworks. I just hope the maid doesn't find me and kill me for this accidental hack. Anyway, here we go. Let's start with a spoiler. Meet the new character, Pablo, says Boom to EBO. He's a large speaker man with a unique feature, a horizontal speaker, something we've only seen before on medium-sized speaker men. A similar speaker model was also installed on Speaker Woman. The side openings appear to be designed for throwing knives. One might assume that Pablo is also built for increased speed due to a lightweight frame, but he doesn't even have a jetpack to enhance his mobility. His lack of gear, combined with his visibly aged appearance, suggests that he isn't part of the upgraded Speakerman army, which typically features red-lit speakers. This means he's likely one of the surviving older model Speakermen. Judging by the sky color and location, which match previous leaks, he's going to encounter the previously revealed group, including Camera Toilet, the Mutant, the Large Cameraman, and the TV Man, as well as the Astro Toilets, whose destructive actions seem to be responsible for the wreckage and fires we see. However, Pablo himself doesn't have a single scratch on him, which is pretty odd. It looks like he managed to take shelter from the Astro Toilets in a safe place and only came out either because it was no longer viable due to an Astro attack or because he spotted our group and is now approaching them, possibly to assist in battle, evacuate to a base, or maybe even reunite with the Speakerman armada that Boom had planned way back in Season 25. Pablo is positioned in a half-crouch, as if either hiding from the Astro Toilets or preparing to attack them. If you remember last time, on March 7th, Mr. Boom estimated the episode's completion at 80%. But as of March 18th, 11 days later, he now says it's at 70%. How is that even possible? Well, it turns out Mr. Boom just underestimated the amount of work needed. Right now, according to him, it's more like 70% done rather than 80%. First of all, the episode will be longer than 10 minutes, probably around 11 or 12. Secondly, production hasn't gone as planned, since the number of light sources has already reached 500, and the number of particles is in the thousands. Even Mr. Boom's computer, or more likely SFM itself, is struggling with this load. So, last time, we just got the wrong impression about the actual complexity and length of this episode. But now that we have more accurate info, when can we expect the release? Judging by my calculations, the episode will likely be delayed until the end of March or early April. There's even a chance Mr. Boom might drop some joke content on April 1st, pretending it's the actual episode. But that's just my guess. Honestly, I don't recall him ever preparing anything specifically for April Fools. If he does it this year, it'll definitely be unexpected for most viewers. At the very least, it would give us something to talk about while we wait for episode 78. While I was writing this script, another important update came from EBO. He asked about the spoiler's significance after many viewers pointed out that Pablo looks a lot like the Speaker Man from an animation by Phelan Davis, whom, by the way, Mr. Boom personally left a comment for under the video. It turns out this is indeed a reference and, in a way, a meme. But the character is canon and will definitely appear in the episode. This confirms what I said earlier. This Speaker Man is not part of the Speakermen armada. It also suggests that this character won't have a major impact on the future Skibidi Toilet storyline, since he wasn't added for story purposes, but just for fun. This in turn means he's likely to remain an episodic character, and we probably won't see him often in new episodes. Most likely, he'll only appear in episode 78. One last interesting detail about the spoiler is the message at the bottom left: survived and escaped content farms. For those who don't know, content farms refer to YouTube channels that produce videos purely for commercial purposes without caring about originality. This type of content is made on an assembly line, usually following the same template over and over without deep storytelling or character development. Here are a few examples of such videos. To spare your sanity, I'll just show the thumbnails, and I think you'll immediately get what I mean. Judging by Pablo's appearance, the caption wasn't chosen randomly. At one point, especially after the introduction of parasites in Skibidi Toilet, large mutated speakermen became a trend among content farms. So, the character Pablo is not only a reference to Davis, but also a parody of content farms, mocking their repetitive approach. Now, let's move on to some sad news. I don't know how closely you follow my fellow creators, but I'm pretty sure you all know who Moby is. He's one of the OG members of the fandom, and was among the first to start analyzing Skibidi Toilet. I used to watch his content back when I was just starting out, and in the early days of my journey in this fandom, he, along with Fordel and Toilet, was a big part of my motivation. Seeing their success gave me an example to follow, and it inspired me to keep going. If it weren't for them, I might have never even discovered this amazing format, which has since become not just my favorite job, but also a hobby that brings me real enjoyment. And today, when I opened YouTube, I saw this video in my recommendations. I really wish it was just a joke or clickbait, but unfortunately, it's real. Moby is no longer making Skibidi Toilet videos. He said it's because he's run out of ideas for new content. In his video, he also talked about the future of his channel, so if you're interested in the detail, I recommend checking it out yourself. You can find comments under his video from Elite Cameraman, EBO75, and many others. I wish him success in whatever he does next, and I hope he brings his new ideas to life. No matter what, he'll always be welcome in the Skibidi Toilet fandom, and he'll forever be part of its history. Huge thanks to him for all the videos he's made and for always being kind and responsive. He's always been supportive whenever we talked, and I truly appreciate that. But that's not all for today. I'm bringing back our series where I go through and break down your theories. So if you've got any, drop them in the comments under this video, and the best ones will definitely make it into the next episode. And if you enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdowns. See you.